Hey guys, what's up? My name is Colin and welcome to Awesome Top 10. Today I'm going to talk about 5 of the most deadliest hurricanes of all time. The 1932 Cuba hurricane was a Category 5 hurricane. It's also known as the Hurricane of Santa Cruz del Sur. It pretty much obliterated the town of Santa Cruz del Sur in Cuba and lasted about 14 days. It had wind speeds up to 175 miles per hour, which is equivalent to 280 kilometers an hour, caused an estimated $40 million in damage and an estimated 3,100 deaths. It also affected the Cayman Islands, Bahamas, and the Antilles. Hurricane David occurred in 1979. It lasted about 2 weeks. Just like the 1932 Cuba hurricane, it had wind speeds up to 175 miles an hour. But this time, it caused approximately $1.5 billion in damage and approximately 2,000 deaths. This hurricane devastated the Dominican Republic, destroying about 80% of homes. This left about 80% of people homeless. It also destroyed the agricultural industry, as it destroyed about 70% of the crops. This hurricane also affected the Antilles, Puerto Rico, Bahamas, and also areas in the US, such as Florida and Georgia. Hurricane Okeechobee occurred in 1928 and lasted about 2 weeks. It had wind speeds up to 160 miles an hour, which is equivalent to 260 kilometers an hour. It caused $1 million in damage and approximately 4,000 deaths. This hurricane affected the Leeward Islands in the Caribbean Sea, leaving about 75% of the population homeless. Over 90% of its crops were destroyed. This hurricane also affected Puerto Rico, Bahamas, and the US as well, in areas such as Florida and Georgia. Hurricane Mitch occurred in 1998 and lasted about 2 weeks. It had wind speeds up to 180 miles per hour, which is equivalent to 285 kilometers an hour. This hurricane caused approximately $6.2 billion in damage and over 11,000 deaths. This was one of the most deadliest hurricanes in the Atlantic. It devastated areas in Central America such as Honduras and Nicaragua by causing mudslides and floods. The aftermath caused disease outbreaks such as cholera, leptospirosis, and dengue fever, which caused over 30 additional deaths. The Great Hurricane occurred in 1780. Unlike all the other previous hurricanes, this one only lasted 11 days. It had wind speeds up to 200 miles per hour, which is equivalent to 320 kilometers an hour, and caused up to 27,000 deaths. This hurricane devastated the Barbados and affected areas such as Grenada, Martinique, St. Vincent, Antigua, St. Kitts, and Dominica. The winds of this hurricane were so loud, people couldn't even hear their own voices. And the winds were so fast that it stripped bark right off of the trees. This hurricane destroyed 90% of the houses in Kingstown and wrecked 19 Dutch ships. It even caused a fleet of 40 French ships to capsize, causing about 4,000 soldiers to drown. Well, that's it for the video, guys. Thank you for watching. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. And if you guys have any suggestions for the next video, please leave a comment below.